Hi, Dan. Welcome to the CGO Gets to Know series, and thanks for joining us this morning. So, Dan, tell me a little bit about what you do at Dufrain.
Cheers, Dan. Yeah, it's great to be here. So I'm a senior consultant in Dufrain. I specialize in end-to-end BI implementation and BI governance. So I've been working here for just over 2 years now, and I've dipped my toe into finance, banking, insurance, and retail over the time here, and it's been thoroughly enjoyable.
Great, and it's great to so basically helping clients have access to the most important intelligence within their business. And your last point, retail. That's the reason that we're here talking today. And given that customers are just about to spend circa 3.2 billion in both online offline sales for Black Friday. It's truly the start of what is the business end of the year for retailers. And something that they would have been prepping for the whole year. And it's something that we at Dufrain I found out know something a little bit about because of you. So Dan, you were already working in the team of one of the UK's most beloved retailers when you overheard a conversation around a particular business problem they had regarding Black Friday. So tell us a little bit about that problem. I think people would like to hear that.
Yeah, that's totally right. So the issue they had was it was coming up to Black Friday once again. Things are manic, and working within the data platform team, they had no visibility of what was actually happening on Black Friday and the impact that it has on their systems because they were basically responsible for transporting data all around this huge business. And as soon as the other functions ramp up, they ramp up with them. So it was really critical for them to have some insights, at this important time of year, in order to sort of, build trust throughout all of the other functions that they serve.
And so, I mean, obviously, data during Black Friday for a retailer, 100% important for all aspects. Whether that's sales, whether that's supply chain, delivery, whatever, absolutely critical. So having access to that and assuming that any load on systems is could potentially be a problem for them. So I can see really understand why that they were concerned about that. A little bit about what you did and how that helped them during the day.
So where we had to start off really is because we didn't have any hard set requirements for this task, because it was a nice to have on top of the deliverable we were already looking to deliver. So what we had to do is really understand the requirements, considering there wasn't really any. So it's putting yourself in the audience's shoes. What the people that are going to be looking at this report, what are they going to be wanting to glean from it? So I think from that aspect, once we'd figured that out, it was down to writing the scripts and pulling a data model together. Because again, none of this had been pulled together before. We knew that the data was there because of the other work that we were doing. It was about wrangling it in a way that would be meaningful for this purpose. And yeah, sort of the key impact that it had, it gave them ability to operate with confidence on Black Friday. That was one of the key things that we took away from what we saw. It was allowing them to dive into the data, fix things that had gone into quarantine, and also prove success of their data platform, something that they hadn't been able to do prior. So they were able to, basically build confidence in all of their stakeholders.
That's great. So you were actually with them on the day, supporting and making sure that the service we were providing was, you were on hand to make sure that they were getting the best value out of it. So tell me a little bit about what the feeling was like. What was it like being in that chaos for a moment?
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was great to actually go down and see everything unfold firsthand. They basically had it plastered on screens throughout the office, and they put a company-wide email out to all of the stakeholders to come down and take a look at these insights that we've managed to pull together, which was awesome to see. There was a buzz. You had people coming over asking, what's this showing? How have you figured this out? What does this mean? And we were able to do that on the fly. The data platform director and the project lead, when something went into quarantine, came over to me and was like, right, can we investigate this asset? So I took them through SQL Server, wrote some scripts and pulled out all the information about this asset that had gone into quarantine, and we investigated there and then, got it sent over to the devs, and it got fixed, and it all went through. So it was a really interactive, important day for them, and it was really great to be a part of it.
That's fantastic. What an exciting moment. And you talked right at the start about it being a nice to have for the client. Interesting to know, are they continuing to use it? Did it become a must have? Is it going to be a must have for them this year, do you think?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I think that's, one of the reasons that I built it in the way that I did is so they could basically switch it on again this year. And it should pretty much just work by changing a couple of parameters in the report. So yeah, hopefully it serves as a lasting tool for them, and it could very easily be repurposed for Christmas or Easter or any other busy
Any
times
other
of the year.
peak periods of the year? Wow. Okay, that's super valuable to them for something that was probably at the end of the day relatively short term project and investment, and actionable insights on their most important day of the year, so that they can react in real time is got to be it's got to be super valuable. So just talk to me a little bit about the technology. How important was the technology in the process? And specifically with the technology, which I understand was Microsoft Power BI. Then talk to me about a little bit about some of the developments with Power BI, and perhaps how that they have helped as well in this situation.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, having those tools enabled for us at our disposal was absolutely core to this project. I don't think I would have been able to do it at the pace at which I did, having used other tools. So having that technology at our will to use would have been fantastic. I think now looking at how times may have changed, with the advent of Fabric and what have you, I think what would have been a really key tool to utilize in this instance would have been Fabric's real-time intelligence, because that's effectively what we were trying to do. We were trying to show this year's Black Friday versus last year's Black Friday rolling through the day. So you had a versus chart every time the hour went by. You saw
Right.
how many assets have been processed. With real-time intelligence, you could do that by every 10 seconds. So it'd make it even richer.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that's exciting, and obviously there's a lot of things coming out at the moment around Fabric, and Dufrain is obviously a key partner, and we're rolling that out in many clients. But outside of calling us, which obviously is going to be the answer that I'm going to give every time, what should clients in a similar situation be thinking about as they approach this period?
Yeah, I think it's really important to just take a step back and understand your data. So as I was saying before, it's understanding the requirements, putting yourself in others' shoes, understanding what they want to see in order for them to make actionable insights. Because it's often as a BI developer, it's not you that's making the actions, it's others. So it's understanding how they feel. And what I would echo again is making something that is usable for multiple purposes, future-proofing the tool that you produce just gets the maximum amount of return out of what you've managed to put together.
Fantastic. Well, Dan, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you and hearing about this particular problem, given it's very timely for this time of year to have this conversation. But thanks again, and what awesome work you do for us. Really appreciate you. Thanks.
Likewise. Thanks, Dan.